Hey guys, good morning and good evening as well. So in the last class, we discussed about cloud
Sir,
control
good morning.
matrix
Sir,
under
excuse
the
me.
cloud security assessment side.
Sir, sorry for the disturbance.
Yeah, please.
Sir, only in the class, you, me, and Nagarjuna.
That's okay. It's their problem. Already I said it's like 1 week I'll take the class.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so in the last class, as I said, we discussed about cloud security matrix. So this mainly it's like a baseline or framework we can utilize for the assessmenting of water cloud environment. So irrespective of the water cloud service provider, it's a common framework for every cloud service provider. Under this one, so as I said, we discussed about 17 modules. So in the yesterday class, I explained about in-depth analysis of dedicated to one of the cloud security assessment that parties belongs to CEK. That is nothing but cryptography encryption key management side. So under this one, we discussed about 20.1, approximate 20 controls related to cryptography, encryption, and key management system. In this similar way, we should coordinate and we should identify all the internal stakeholder in case you are working for any product-based company, or maybe you are working for any client or customer. Then in that scenario, you should coordinate with client and customer. So now, so overall, we have 263 compliances are there based on the Excel sheet, whatever we discussed yesterday class itself. So all these controls are 263. So these 263 compliances for the 17 modules, we have to sit together with the all other stakeholders or maybe customer or client. And finally, we should make sure that whether these compliances are fully compliant or partially compliant or non-compliant. So most of the cases, if it is fully compliant, we no need to worry, but at least we need evidence. If it's a partially compliant, when they are going to remaining partial complaint evidence, whether they'll make it like a fully complaint or not. In case it's a non-compliant one, so whether they will complaint or not in future. So that's what we have to go and we have to discuss. And finally, once we are doing the auditing part, so thereafter we can go and we can speak with our cloud security alliance external auditors and we can certify. So we are taking and we are making sure that all the security controls are implemented in the cloud environment. So this is the overall assessment, how we can do it. Please go through these 17 modules, these 263 controls, similar to like whatever we discussed under the ISO 27001, PCI DSS, GDPR, SOC 1, SOC 2, HIPAA compliances, and so on, same as it is. There is nothing change here. There is no change. So if you have any queries, please let me know in the tomorrow class. Okay. So that's all about overall cloud security assessment. But these cloud security assessment from the cloud service provider side, they have the terminology, it is different. How the terminology it will be different once we are going to the respect to cloud service provider, there I can go and I can explain it, why the terminology it will change. Maybe here we have 263 compliances are there, but if we are going for the dedicated cloud service provider, maybe they can increase or they can reduce cloud security assessment side. Okay, so then according to that one, they can make sure that cloud security posture management, this is called CSPM. So whether all the cloud resources or all the cloud virtual machines or VNets or databases or services they deployed, either native based or maybe BYOL, bring your own lines, according to that one, whether we have to increase the security score of the cloud security posture management in case it's a non-compliant. In case it's a complaint, we no need to worry. That is called secure score. So that's all about overall cloud security assessment. Please go through all the 17 modules and please revisit this particular Excel sheet. And if you have any queries, please let me know in the tomorrow class. So that's all for overall cloud security assessment side. And one more thing, this sheet also I uploaded in the same folder where I am uploading regular videos in our second batch under the cloud security folder. So let's go and discuss about now individual cloud service provider security services, whatever exactly they are providing. As I said in the yesterday class itself, you should be aware of the first and foremost security services from the respective cloud service provider. Along with that one, other couple of the services also you should be aware of. Then only you'll become cloud security architect perfect way. Otherwise, if you know about only cloud security services, then you are eligible for the only cloud security operations part. I'm repeating once again the question. If you know about along with the services of the cloud security posture, if you are aware of the other team members or stakeholders, what exactly they are using the resources, then you will become like a cloud security architect or solution architect. Otherwise, if you are able to learn about only cloud security related services part, then you will become only just security operations part like L1 or L2 or L3. It's up to you whether you want to go and you want to become as an architect, or whether you want to make it like a operations part of L1 or L2 or L3. Okay. So now, so as per the cloud service provider and Gartner report all over the worldwide. So first thing is you should be aware of the Azure. Second one is Amazon Web Services. Third one is GCP. Fourth one is OCI, Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. And fifth one is Alibaba. Sixth one is IBM. So these are all very famous cloud vendors, cloud service providers. Most of the customers all over the worldwide, so they are using these cloud services providers vendors only. Okay. Now, what I will do for next to maybe 2 to 3 classes. So Azure side cloud security services, I'm going to discuss independently. And Amazon side, I'm going to discuss about independently related to our identity and access management or security services in the similar GCP. I will give only priority to these three. Remaining, you can go and you can read it. Okay. If you are aware of out of these 6 very famous cloud service vendors, at least 2, then you can apply for any cloud security vacancy. I'm repeating once again. If you are aware of any of these 2 out of 6 vendors related to cloud service providers, you can apply for any cloud vacancy irrespective of the cloud service provider. Okay. So that's all about overall introduction part. Let's go and discuss about Azure side. If you want to go and if you want to do the Azure side, then what you can do, you can go and you can register the Azure portal. For that one, what you have to do, just you can go to Google and type here Azure portal. Then it will ask Microsoft Azure portal official site. Then click on that Azure portal. Then you can do the registration part. So whenever you're doing the registration part of the our Microsoft Azure portal, so try Azure for free. Okay. So can you see my screen?
Yeah, we're able to.
Yes, sir.
So try Azure for free. So click on this one and it will ask the registration part. So you hope everyone has a credit card. When you want to build up this one, obviously what you have to do, so you have to provide your credit card number as well, because it will take so $2 from your account. Okay. So after that, I think they will revert back the $2 as well. For that one, for Azure side, they are giving free of cost of $200. But in India, I'm not sure how much money. I think maybe 10,000 something like that. Indian rupees.
Indian rupees, 2 rupees only they are going to correct.
Okay. Yeah. So Indian rupees, 2 rupees, as Venkat said. So maybe they will deduct 2 rupees. So please go and create that one. So I already created that account. So directly I will go and I will log in now. So I logged into my account already. So this is my account. So now once you are logging into this page, okay, now where you have to go and what are the services you have to do the evaluation part. Click on the left hand side. You can see the all services. Click on the all services. Under this one, entire overall internal stakeholders in our organization whoever is developing the application development and product development, or containers and dockers and virtual machines and servers, or virtual nets, or machine learning, artificial intelligence, data analytics, computing, part of the infrastructure. So then DevOps and TechOps and SecOps, everything will fall, even security as well. IoT and OT, all those services will fall under this all services. Same as is even Azure also. But only one thing, it is different from Azure to Amazon Web Services terminology. That's what I said previously also. Now, if you are clicking on the services, I'm going back once again. So click on the three dots. Once you're clicking on the three dots, click on the all services here. Once you're clicking on the all services, now you can see categories. Categories meaning here different types of team members or other stakeholders. For example, what are the other team members? What they can use the services? You can take example, artificial intelligence and machine learning, AIML. Whoever is using the natural language programming languages, LLMs, and also artificial intelligence, machine learning, along with Python automation, all those people, they can go and they can use this service. Okay, so this is mainly for the ML and AA. It's not fall under us, but you should be aware of what exactly ML and AA at least. Okay, next one is data analytics part. So data analytics is a part of the our data science team or data engineers team. They can go and they can do the data from the huge or large amount of the millions and billions of the data. For example, terabytes of the data, picobytes of the data. So they will do the analytics based on the mathematical calculation, based on the statistics approach. If you want to become even data analytics and data engineer also part of the data science, you should be aware of all those. Even these two, machine learning and artificial intelligence and data analytics, we are using in our cyber security field also. Where we are using and how we are using. For example, when we discussed about EDR, DLP, encryption, file integrity monitoring, firewall, proxy, IDS, IPS, SIM tool, and so on. So where we are using machine learning and artificial intelligence, we discussed about one of the concept is called as detection method. Under the detection method, we do have the one of the detection method name is called as behavioral pattern and machine learning capability, artificial intelligence capability for unknown category of the attacks, whatever it's happening all over the worldwide. If you want to get those threat intelligence feeds as a notifications to us, so respect to each and every security vendor, they are trying to integrate these machine learning, artificial intelligence, even in our security tools as well. So second thing is data analytics, where we are using data analytics in our cybersecurity field. Example, we discussed about EDR, DLP, firewall, proxy, and so on, even SIM tools as well. So when we discussed about SIM tool concept and when we discussed about EDR concept, when we discussed about firewall concept, I said every vendor, it will provide 0 to 10 scale range of the risk score, or maybe 0 to 100 scale range of the risk score, or if it is IBM Curator 0 to 10, if it is Exabeam greater than 90, if it is Microsoft Azure 0 to 100, and so on. How that risk score it will happen, and how the so correlation it will happen in between one event with another event based on the mathematics, based on the statistics, based on the data analytics concept. So whatever millions and billions of the logs are generating these SIM tool side, it will correlate with the normal event versus abnormal event. And finally, whatever normal event, abnormal event, it is correlating, always it will consider abnormal event. Once the logic is defined and based on the correlation rule, whatever we configured, so according to that logic related to correlation between the normal event and abnormal event, so finally alert will be triggered. So that alert has one of the score that is called as risk score. Just now I said even for IBM Curator 0 to 10 scale range, Nessus tool 0 to 10, Qualys 0 to 10, and also IBM, Sentinel 0 to 100, Logarithm 0 to 100. Okay, then Exabeam greater than 90, and so on. How the score will be generated? Based on the analytics concept only. So all these security tool vendors, what they will do, they will try to implement mathematics along with the statistics. So this is the way how the correlation will happen in between the normal event versus abnormal event. And finally, so according to the type of the attack, whether it is a malware category or phishing email category, spoofing category, flooding category, or WASP top 10 or SANS top 25 category of the attack. Finally, risk score will be generated under the SIM tool side. So that those places we can use data analytics as well. Okay. Next one is computing part. Computing is mainly for the to create infrastructure. So if that means virtual machines or VNets or virtual nets, all those things. So what I mean to say here, these categories are different stakeholders or different other team members. They can go and they can use based on their roles and responsibilities, based on their segregation of the duties. If the machine learning team they want to use, they can go and they can click on this machine learning related so services. If the data analytics team they want to go and they want to use, like they will use big data processing related, data exploration related thing. They will use computing part related to infrastructure as a service or platform as a service. In that scenario, whoever is building the available sets and community images and also virtual machines, okay, virtual machine scale sets, all those will fall under this one in the similar platform as a service. Then so containers part, in case Kubernetes side, wherever we are using, and serverless containers communication side, wherever we are configuring, those we can go and we can configure under the containers side. So database team, so whatever database we are choosing, whether it is a GridGain or Couchbase or PGSQL or Cosmos DB or Cassandra, so all those will fall under these databases side. So these databases services can be utilized by database team. Hope now you got it, what I'm trying to say here. In the similar way, DevOps team, they can go and they can utilize whatever development plus operational related at the time of part of the CI/CD pipeline. Once the code where continuously they are developing and also they are trying to release any feature that is going to come as a oral platform set, they can go and they can utilize these DevOps related services. And finally, in the similar way, so you can go and you can see about security side. So this is what I'm saying. Mainly, if you want to become as a security operations person as a L1 or L2 or L3, just you are aware of these services, that is more than sufficient. Okay. So, but if you want to become architect, you should be aware of all these services, all these categories. Then only you'll become solution architect and security architect. Other team members, what are the services they are utilizing? You should be aware of that one also. Okay, so that's the difference between what is the security versus other. So services they are using by different stakeholders or different team members based on the category defined by Microsoft Azure. Let's go and discuss about under the security side. Okay, so under the security side, mainly they are divided into 4 categories. These security services. First category is data and application security. Okay, so first category is data and application security. So Azure security services are mainly divided into 4 types. First one is data and application security. So data and application security meaning here governance will come because data protection. So that may be legal or maybe confidential report. So that is called GRC related. Application security side. So what are application groups we are using, logs monitoring we are using. Those things will fall under the application security side. Second one, identity and access control. Third one, infrastructure network security. Fourth one, threat detection protection. So these are all the different types of subcategories are there under the Azure Security Services side. So what is the first category? Data and application security side. Once again, under this one, approximate 5 are there. Those services you should be aware of. Under the in identity and access control, we do have six security services. Under the infrastructure and security side, network security side, sorry, 6 services. Under the threat detection protection side, we have 5. Altogether, we do have the 21 services. these 21 services, forget about at least 5, at least you should be aware of 15. Those 15 are compulsory interview question for each and every interview. If you are going for any Azure vacancy, not only this one, even couple of other services also, I will go and I will teach that one as well. So under the Azure Security Services side, so there are mainly classified 4 different types of the services. First one is data and application security. Under this one, we have 5 different types of security services. Under the second one is identity and access control. Under this one, we do have 6 services. Third one is infrastructure and network security. Under this one, we have 6 services. And finally, threat detection protection. It's mainly for monitoring side. We do have the 5. So let's go and discuss one by one. What are important one? Those things only I will discuss in the class. So first control is automation application for Office 365 report. Second one is Azure application groups, Azure application security groups. Third one, confidential ledger. This mainly for the data governance side, legal and compliance side. Fourth one is log analytics workspace. So this mainly for the storing of the logs, querying of the logs, retaining of the logs based on the retention policy. Enter a question. Fifth one, web application firewall. Application security, WAF will fall under this one. Azure web application firewall. So those are all the data and application security side. Second one, identity and access control. Under this one, first one is Azure Entra ID. I'm not going in the proper sequence because in sequence I didn't remember. Second one is Azure Entra ID Connect or security. Third one, Key Vault, not Key Vault, sorry. Multi-factor authentication MFA. Fourth one, Azure. Azure domain services, Entra domain services. Fifth one, Azure Entra privilege access, privilege identity management. Last one, I think Azure Trust Services Connect. Okay, so these are all the identity and access control side. So mainly Azure Entra ID is one of the important service you should be aware of. Next one is multi-factor authentication you should be aware of. And Azure Entra ID security also, it's very, very important. Under this one, there are so many subcategory of the services it will fall under. So that is identity and access management side. So next one is infrastructure and network security. Under this one, we have couple of services are first one, Azure Firewall. Second one is Azure Key Vault. Third one is Azure Application Gateway. Fourth one, Azure VPN Gateway. So this VPN Gateway, they will not call VPN Gateway, Application VPN Gateway. Next one is Azure DDoS protection. And last one, Azure Perimeter Security. So these are all on the infrastructure network security side. I think I have doubt on this one. This is another name, not exactly VPN gateway, but we can use for VPN purpose. So next one is threat detection protection side. So first thing is we can use Microsoft Defender. Microsoft Defender for application monitoring side, that is called as external attacker surface management, EASM. So second one is Microsoft Defender for cloud. It's a very important feature. So third one, Microsoft Defender for IoT. So because OT and IoT is become trending technology, so you should be aware of the monitoring of the OT devices also, in case you are deploying in the cloud side. Last one, Azure Sentinel. Yeah. So these are the overall 21 or 26. Yeah, something I missed out. Let's see here. 5, 6, 6, 16 plus 4, 20 only it is coming. Let's go and see. So data and application security, application compliance automation for Office 365. Next one is application security group, confidential ledger. Next one, log analytics workspace, web application firewall. This is fine. 5. Identity and access control side, second category. Microsoft Entra Domain Services. It's for which domains we have to allow and which domains we have to block. And also we should make sure that, so whatever domains we are configuring, so we have to configure using this one. Those domains we have to monitor continuously. Microsoft Entra ID. It's mainly for the identity and access management side. It's basically IAM. And the Microsoft Entra ID security. Under this one, there are so many subcategories like Azure Center, multi-factor authentication, Azure identity. There are so many things will fall under this one. So Microsoft Entra privileged identity management, it's like least privilege, PAM solution, privilege access management, and multi-factor authentication, and Microsoft Azure trusted signing accounts. So that is fall under the identity and access control. Most of the cases IAM oriented, monitoring of the identity, authentication, authorization, all those will fall under the identity and access control. Next one is infrastructure and network security, application gateway. This is like a load balancer. Yesterday we discussed already when we discussed about cloud security architecture diagram. Under this one, we do have there are 4 different types of load balancer. So next one is DDoS protection. Azure DDoS protection, it will prevent flooding of the category of the text, you know already. Azure firewall. So it will monitor the inbound and outbound traffic, especially in this cloud environment. We can call it as a virtual nets. Under the virtual nets, what resources we configure as virtual machines, those virtual machines. So based on the inbound traffic and outbound traffic, it will monitor, it will complete stateful inspection. As I said, it does not have the deep packet inspection capability. Okay, so then finally it will do either allowing or blocking. And also firewall manager option also available under this one. Next one is key vault. It's very important interview question. Key vault, it can be used mainly for the keys storing and keys retain, keys recover. Yesterday also we discussed under the cloud security assessment side using cloud control matrix. We discussed about cryptography, CEK, cryptography, and also encryption and key management system. All those 21 whatever we discussed, those things will fall under the key vault. Keys, secrets, passwords, certificates, everything can be stored using the key vault, using backed up by HSM, hardware security module. Network security parameter, in the parameter side, is there any malicious traffic is doing by the external attacker or maybe internal end user? Those things it will prevent and block. Next one is virtual network groups. These virtual network groups we can configure, like as I said already. So in the our data center or on-premise location, we can call LAN, local area network. So in the switch, we can configure virtual LAN. But whatever network we are configuring under the cloud environment, that network we can call virtual network. It's not a physical network or not a physical data center. So next one is threat detection and protection. Under that one, Microsoft Defender EASM, it's for application monitoring part. That may be threats and vulnerabilities or libraries and packages and everything. Next one is the Microsoft Defender for Cloud. It's a very, very important feature. Most of the people get confusion. What the difference between Microsoft Defender EDR, Microsoft Defender Office 365, Microsoft Defender IoT, Microsoft Defender for Cloud. Okay. And Microsoft Defender for IoT. So it's for dedicated to OT and IoT devices. And Microsoft Sentinel, it's a SIM tool in the our Azure side. So these are all dedicated services. Now, out of all these, what you should be aware of? You can ignore all these first three. That's fine. Log analytics workspace is very important because in the Azure Sentinel, where the logs can be stored, we should do the using KQL query language. We have to do the queries. So where the logs can be stored in the log analytics workspace. And web application firewall. So whatever WASP top 10 category of the attacks or SANS top 25 category of the attacks are available in the cloud environment of the Azure environment. So based on the policies we configured, right now it is supporting 188 policies. So those are all default, like a signature. And in future, maybe you can do customization also. So those customization according to the threat intelligence feeds, what are we are getting on the regular basis of the daily attacks. According to that one, we can go and we can create or customized application category of the attacks. So default 188 or 288, something like that, based on the default policy 2.1. And additionally, we can go and we can create customized so application category of the attack also. Tomorrow, maybe one of the attacker is trying to do the hacking on the application side. It's a new category of the attack. Now, the threat intelligence feed, it will come through community edition through GitHub as a community and also through Microsoft threat intelligence feeds. It will come to us. Then finally, we can go and we can create the so respect to correlation rule part of the web application firewall side. Next one is Azure Entra ID. It's a identity and access management. This identity and access management mainly for the role-based access control, all those things we can go and we can configure under this one. Under Azure Identity Security, under this one we have the security center is very, very important one. And multi-factor authentication. And multi-factor authentication is a separate session already they given. Azure Entra Domain Service, this is not that much. Azure Entra Privileged Identity Management, yes it is. So it's mainly for the least privilege. So if you want to make for temporary access to any of the guests or VIPs, they are not permanent contractors or maybe whoever is required. So for lesser time, it's not like a permanent employee. Then we can go and we can define the just-in-time access. That is called JIT. So that one, how it is possible through privilege identity assignment or management according to the role and regulations and roles and responsibilities what he is trying to do from the DevOps or TechOps or SecOps or machine learning or data analytics or networking guy or IoT or OT and so on, whoever it may be. So according to that one, whether it is a contract or maybe full-time employee. So what are the level of the services he should go and he should access it. According to that one, we can go and we can do the least privilege. This is also called PAM, privilege access management in the on-premise solution. So next one, Azure Firewall. Azure Key Vault, Azure VPN gateway, application gateway. It's just you can leave it. This is basically network side. It's a load balancer. LB. Application VPN gateway. It's a VPN connecting VPN site to site VPN. Yesterday I was saying how to connect on-premise employees whenever they are trying to access any infrastructure part of the cloud environment, maybe SaaS-based applications they are trying to access. Always we must connect through VPN. Thereafter we can go and we can use either third-party Citrix, or maybe you can use Bastion, or maybe you can use directly this site-to-site VPN connectivity. Azure DDoS protection, it's very important. Azure Perimeter Sec, it's a new one. Azure VPN gateway, we cannot call it VPN gateway. Let's go and see what exactly we can call it as. I forgot the name. Virtual network gateway, sorry. So this is called VPN gateway also. Both are same. Next one, threat detection protection side, Microsoft Defender for Cloud. Dedicated to this one also, there are a lot of vacancies. Dedicated to Microsoft Defender for Cloud. So this is called CNAPP. Cloud Network Application Protection Platform. It's a combination of DevSecOps, development plus security plus operational, and also it's a combination of cloud workload protection platform, and also it is a cloud security posture management. The three combined together, we can call it as CNAPP. So by the way, it does not contain EDR. So separately I will discuss. Microsoft Defender for IoT, just you can ignore, is the Sentinel SIM tool. So these are all the services, guys. Okay, so dedicated Sentinel also, you know already, dedicated Sentinel also, we have a lot of vacancies. Now, whatever yellow color I provided, those things we are going to discuss now. These are all very, very important one now. Log analytics workspace. So why we can use this one? For storing of the logs, retaining of the logs, querying of the logs based on the retention policy side, and also security instant investigation side. If you want to go on, if you want to do the investigation, we need for deeper investigation. So we have to do the querying part. For that one, we can use KQL query, KQL query, Kusto query language. And recently, Microsoft company is developed one more programming language. Not only just KQL query language, it is called as the posthumous query language. That is also we are using now. Along with KQL, we are using one more that is called posthumous query language. So that is about mainly for log analytics workspace. Second one, web application firewall, you know already. So it's mainly for to monitor, to detect, to identify WASP, top 10 category of that, not only just identify, to block also, and block. All layer 7 or WASP top 10 category of the attacks. So that will fall under our web application firewall. It's a dedicated on the Azure environment side. So next one is Azure Entra ID. It's a recent name is changed basically. Instead of the identity and access management, we are using now Azure Entra ID. So this is called IAM, identity and access management. It's mainly for the providing the role-based access control. Based on the roles and responsibilities and segregation of the duties. So that is called Azure Entra ID. Next one, Azure Entra ID Security. It's just only for providing the access, authentication, authorization. But how we can take care of security? How can we identify the risky user from different geographical locations he connected? Maybe he connected from so X location or Y location or Z location or G location. In that scenario, so whenever he's connecting from the multiple locations, we will get the alert notification. How that is possible? By monitoring using Entra ID security. For this one, it will generate the security score also. Okay. Under this one, there are several controls are available. Let's go and see. As I said, security center and multi-factor authentication, identity protection. Next one, uh, security score. Two more I forgot. Let's go and see. This is the one. Yeah, you can see here. Microsoft Entra conditional access. So based on the condition, according to the user part of the Azure environment, we can go and we can provide conditional access. Not only just conditional access, we can provide the so identity provider access, we can provide the conditional access. There are 4 different types of access we can provide. Okay. So next one is Azure ID protection. So meaning here, whoever is trying to access to the Azure environment, that ID, for example, maybe Suresh or Mahesh or Naresh or Ramesh and so on. So that ID, whether really that user is trying to log in on behalf of the user, someone else is trying to use, and what is the ID and what is the password, and from where he's logging, whether he's used multi-factor authentication or not, or password keys or not, or pass keys or not, and so on. So that is called Entra ID protection. It will make sure that so the user can be protected, identity can be protected. Azure Security Center, it is previously SIM tool basically. So up to 2018 or 19, something like that, Azure doesn't have this Sentinel. So till that time, so what Microsoft Azure is doing, they are using Sentinel as Azure Security Center as a SIM tool. But now once the dedicated SIM tool they developed part of the Azure Sentinel side, now anymore they water functionality previously they developed. Everything they redeveloped once again, they made it like a security center. So security center, it will provide about cloud security posture management and security score. And also it will provide about CS auditing benchmark, PCI DSS compliances, ISO 27000 compliances, and IDS monitoring, and everything can be taken care under the Azure Security Center. Okay. Azure Security Score is our identity security score. It will provide a score 0 to 100 scale range. So based on the what type authentication is trying to do and how he's authenticating, whether he's doing the any login failure attempts or login failure success or terminated account or disabled account, according to that one. So out of the 100% of the complaints, whether 80% complaint or 60% complaint or 70% complaint, the score will be generated. Always should be approximate greater than 90. If it's less than 90 there, then we can go and we can see why the score is less. Then we can go and we can implement security best practices. Why the ID is showing as a only 50% or 40% or 60%. Reason also it will provide. And next one is name and location. This is what already I told you. Once the user is logging from any location, maybe it is because of the ISP router or maybe because of the NATing from external to the internal. So maybe because the multiple ISP routers, they are trying to use it, or maybe because of the RIP or EAGRP or OSPF or BGP or express route and so on. According to that one, whatever we are trying to do the routing part, maybe different geographical location it will go and it will see, and your Azure ID is a risky user identified. Risky user location is different. This is the way how the multiple locations names we can go and we can see along with the different location names along the different IP address with the same username. So then we have to suspect whether user has done or external attacker has done on behalf of the like IP spoofing. Okay, so that is named locations. Authentication methods. We have different types of authentication method. What are we discussed under the our endpoint security side? We discussed on NTLM, SAML authentication mechanism, Kerberos authentication mechanism. So same thing it is applicable to here as well. And the multi-factor, even we can integrate with third party also. Whatever by default Microsoft Azure is supporting SAML and NTLM, Kerberos, these default authentication mechanism. If you want to integrate with any other third party like a single sign-on solutions like a Okta or ForgeRock or Microsoft Ping Identity or any other identity solution, if you want to integrate as a third party, then we can use that one also. So that is called as a federated identity. Federated identity and also normal identity by default like a native identity. Multi-factor authentication. You know about multi-factor authentication, obviously. So what is passkeys? Passkeys meaning here, along with username and strong password, we can provide biometric also, or facial expression, or face reading. So that is right now is a strongest. So authentication mechanism. Not only just providing username and password, even that authentication mechanism will come to the whatever mobile device you registered, it can, you have to provide that number along with that one biometric or maybe facial expression part reading, and finally you can authenticate. That is the right now strongest authentication method, not as compared to providing the strong or uppercase or lowercase, all those parameters. That is the reason whenever you are trying to joining any company, why they will provide Microsoft Authenticator in your mobile to deploy that particular app in your from the Google Play Store or maybe iOS Play Store, to make sure that it can be provided the additional security control. Next one is yeah, that's all guys. So these things will fall under the our mainly Azure Entra ID security. Okay, go back. So next one, multi-factor authentication already discussed. Azure Entra privilege identity management. Azure PIDM. This is also called PAM in our on-premise privilege access management. It will provide least privilege based on the roles and responsibilities provided by, not provided, provided by based on the role-based access control. RBAC or guest user or partner or vendor or other contractors. So that is called as least privilege. So in our Azure Sentinel side or even Amazon side also, we can call it as a JIT, just-in-time access. Okay. Next one is sorry. Azure Firewall. I already told you, and Azure Key Vault and Azure DDoS protection. So, but in our Amazon Web Services, we can say Amazon Firewall. Along with that one, we have one more concept that is called as network access controls and security groups. But in the Azure environment, we can call it as only Azure Firewall. Azure Firewall, it will protect any attacks from the attacker in front of the virtual network resources. Once the NATing is completed from the load balancer, from the public IP to the internal IP, that is called mapping of the private IP to public IP. That is firewall concept, because we did not discuss about firewall. So that is our next topic. So now whatever in front of the VNet services we do have, like virtual machines, I configured 10 virtual machines or 20 virtual machines, couple of servers and everything under the virtual net by subnet 10.10.0.0/16. For that one, we are configuring user LAN or maybe virtual machine LAN, server LAN, database LAN, application LAN, and so on. Whatever VNet we configured, behind the VNet, whatever resources we configured, all those virtual machines on databases and servers, everything should be so prevented and blocked. And whenever any attack is trying to do the hacking, that is called Azure Firewall. And also it will take care of the stateful inspection firewall. Nothing but state of the packet is entering into the organization. So that one we can call it as sync or sync plus acknowledgement and acknowledgement. Okay. So along with that one, it will do, there are so many other things also, enabling the policy, creating the policy, top to bottom approach, top down approach, north west traffic, east south, sorry, north south traffic, east west traffic, everything it will monitor. So that is called Azure Firewall. Next one is Azure Key Vault. So under the Azure Key Vault side, why Key Vault can be used? It can be used for storing of the keys or retaining of the keys, storing of certificates, secrets, whatever developers they are trying to use, passwords, extra. So these keys can be backup. How it is possible? These keys can be backing up by using HSM, hardware security module. Okay. So recently this one is introduced, just only 2 years back. Prior to that one, only Key Vault we do have. Okay. So now HSM means, don't think like it's a hardware. That is hardware security module. So we can create one of the virtual machine, everything we can keep those keys on that particular safer place. It's like a centralized management console where it will store all those keys. Now even cybersecurity SOC operations team, or tech ops team, or SecOps team, or DevOps team, or application development team, or product development team, whenever they are developing any code where the secrets are available or keys are available, so they need to worry about the keys and secrets and anything. So everything it will should be taken care by automatically Key Vault. And even masking also, it is not, there is no need to worry about that one. So this is the way how the developer they will develop the code. For example, email address, phone number, so debit card and credit card, all those related PII data. Why in the Amazon or Flipkart or PhonePe or Google Pay or maybe Zomato or Swiggy and so on, we are not able to see the, okay, so our overall enter debit card and credit card, all those enter information, because that is called data anonymization part. So this is the how the secrets can be developed by the developers, and we cannot see, even attacker cannot see what is the exactly data is about. That one can be stored by, that is called secrets basically. Those secrets also can be stored using the Key Vault. Next one is Azure DDoS protection. It will provide flooding category of the attacks, from application layer, all the layers except physical. So that is about Azure DDoS protection. Next one. Azure Virtual Net Gateway. So it's a VPN gateway. It can be used, configure VPN between on-premise and cloud environment. For example, my office is located in the on-premise applications and also cloud environment. In both the ways, couple of data is located in the on-premise where critical data is located, and couple of non-critical data is deployed in the cloud environment. If I want to access any cloud environment, I can go and I can create virtual net gateway or virtual gateway. So it's like a VPN gateway from our on-premise firewall to our Azure virtual net gateway. In between these two, we can go and we can create IKE phase 1 and IKE phase 2. IKE phase 1 is called Internet Key Exchange phase 1 and Internet Key Exchange phase 2. Internet Key Exchange phase 1, in between on-premise to the cloud environment, you will exchange 3 keys. So, and in between, in the second phase 2, IKE phase 2, it will exchange 6 messages. Finally, so encryption, authentication, authorization, non-reputation, confidentiality, integrity, availability, everything should be taken care. Even the attacker will come as a middleman using the man in the middle attacker, session hijacking. He can't able to do. Why? Because already keys are encrypted. He's not aware of, even he knows about what is VPN username and password. Why? Because so already keys are exchanged in between the our on-premise environment of the firewall to the respective Azure VPN gateway. So this is the way phase 1 and phase 2 we have to configure to make sure that tunnel should be formed in between our on-premise and also cloud, even though we are in public network or internet. That's called VPN. So that one we are going to discuss once again under the firewall. Because this IK phase 1, phase 2, you will not understand right now. Why? Because it's a site-to-site VPN. If you are understanding about site-to-site VPN, then only you will understand what is Azure Virtual Net Gateway. If you don't understand what is, so that's what I said yesterday itself. If we want to know about all these security services and how to become entire security engineer, at least forget about architect, security engineer in the cloud environment, you should be aware of the endpoint, network, application, cloud, so cyber, identity and access management. Then only you'll become security engineer in the respective cloud service provider, irrespective of the Azure or GCP or maybe Alibaba or Oracle or maybe Amazon. Okay. So meaning here, what are on-premise things you should learn? You should go and you should implement all those basics in the cloud. Then you will become engineer. Then if you want to become at least operational, I don't want to become as engineer or architect. At least I want to become monitoring of L1 or L2 or L3 level. Even you should be aware of what is instance ID, virtual private circuit, virtual machine. So all those, as I said, how many categories are there under the Azure and Amazon or Google side. You should be aware of all those terminology as well. Because whenever you're going for an interview, they'll expect of the cloud terminology, not on-premise terminology. Okay. So next one, Azure Microsoft Defender for Cloud. So this is mainly for, there are 3 things are involved under this one. It is not EDR, it is not XDR, it is not endpoint detection response, it is not extended endpoint detection response. It is not all those. So many people has a lot of confusion, even though so many people are working on right now in the market. Whenever they will say, in my organization, we are using Microsoft Defender EDR. So do you think that Microsoft Defender EDR and Microsoft Defender for cloud both are same? Not at all. Both are completely different services. Microsoft Defender EDR is complete endpoint detection response. It will take care of all malware category of the attacks. Extended detection response. So it is a little bit advanced feature as compared to the traditional EDR tool, based on the detection mechanism wise, instant response wise, or automated response wise. So please remember, Microsoft Defender for cloud is different versus Microsoft Defender endpoint detection response, Microsoft endpoint extended detection response, Microsoft Defender, so Office 365 Defender, all are completely different. So this one is larger than all those what just now I said. Okay, maybe you are mentioning in your resume Microsoft Defender EDR. And entire question is Microsoft Defender Cloud. You will say obviously Microsoft Defender EDR, it will prevent and block all malware category attacks in the Azure environment. That is completely blunder, mistaken blunder answer. Okay. So it will do lot more features. First of all, it will not take care of any malware category of the detection and also blocking part. These it can be taken care. So that's why this is another name is called as CNAPP, Cloud Native Application Platform Protection. Cloud Native Application Protection Platform. Under this one, it's a combination of, there are three different types of subdomains or subcategories. First one is called DevOps. Second one is called as CWPP, Cloud Workload Protection. Third one is called as CSPM. Cloud Security Posture Management. If we're combining these together, and Microsoft Defender for Cloud, don't think like it is only supporting for dedicated to Azure. No, not at all. It is supporting for multi-cloud also. If are using in our organization Amazon, GCP or Oracle or IBM and so on, it can support to other multi-cloud also. So that is the way how these Microsoft team has developed this product. That is called product development. Okay. So now let's go and discuss about these three. This is DevSecOps, not DevOps. DevSecOps. It's a development plus security plus operational. So in the code level, is there any issues? Code quality, code assurance side, CI/CD pipeline, and in the security operation related issues are also existing. Our CNAPP, it can go and it can detect and it can block it. And CWPP. So this mainly for CI/CD pipeline along with security operations. So CWPP workload protection, cloud workload protection. It will be taken care by whatever workload name itself it is suggesting. Virtual machines, databases, servers, web servers, and so on. These workloads has any issues are there. So those things can be detected and protected and blocked by our CWPP. So third one, I have confusion whether CSPM or something else. Give me 1 second. Cloud workload, yeah, it's correct only. CSPM. Now you can see here. So there are three things here. Microsoft Defender for Cloud. You can see here, first one is DevSecOps. Second one is CSPM, Cloud Security Posture Management. Third one is Cloud Workload Protection. You can see down, maybe you can see diagram, it will be easy. But this has a lot of meaning is there. Whenever you will see diagram, think like technical perspective, logical perspective. Try to understand what exactly they are representing. Okay. It's not like, okay, diagram, these many symbols are there, these many devices are there, it's fine. So it's not like that. you should understand in technical perspective, logical way of thinking, by providing about all those services, how the Azure is developed. Not on this one, even when we discussed about any diagrams or SIM architect, EDR architect, or vulnerability management architect, or firewall architect, and so on. You should, by seeing the design, you should understand what they're exactly they are saying about. What do you mean by that? You can see Amazon Web Services and GCP and also other clouds also it is Alibaba. Other clouds also it is supporting. It's a multi-cloud Microsoft Defender. This is the way how the Microsoft company product development team they developed this product. So CSPM, it will take care of the cloud security posture management. Completed to cloud security posture management for the Microsoft side is Palo Alto, Palo Alto XOR CSPM, cloud security posture management, CrowdStrike. So next one is Checkmarks. These are very famous dedicated CSPM tool. Cloud security posture management, very famous tool are Azure CSPM, Palo Alto XOR, or Palo Alto cloud security posture management tool, CrowdStrike, cloud security posture management tool, Checkpoint. These are very dedicated. This CSPM also, a lot of vacancies are available in the market. What exactly it will provide? It will provide security posture of the organization, what's going on. It will provide legal compliances. It will provide regulatory compliances. It will provide about even GRC, governance, risk, and compliances. Okay, so that is called CSPM. Okay, so last one, Azure Sentinel. Azure Sentinel is a SIEM tool along with SOAR. It's a native SIEM tool along with SOAR capability. Security orchestration and automated response. This one is called playbooks. Is provided by Azure. It will provide OBA also. OBA, user entity behavior analytics also. But these two things are very important. Native SIEM solution. So the SIEM solution also called as cloud as a SIEM. So SIEM as a software otherwise. So these two capabilities, it will do 24/7 monitoring, 365 days. And whenever any attacks are triggered in the cloud environment, it will do log collection, log analysis, log processing, all those you know already. Finally, it will take care of log monitoring, log collection via data connectors, log analysis, log processing using analytic workspace, log analysis, log processing. And finally, based on the correlation rules we configured. By default, I think it is supporting correlation rule is 300 plus correlation rule. If you want, we can go and we can get customized one also. So that is called Azure Sentinel side. So there are so many things are there under this one: threat hunting, playbook, runbook, Jupyter notebooks. This one already we discussed when we discussed about Azure's architecture diagram. Hope you remember. Azure architecture diagram, Azure Sentinel architecture diagram, log analytics workspace, all those things we discussed, correct? So one is configuration management, second one is called threat management, third one is called as content management. Configuration management is mainly for the administration. So if the Azure Sentinel tool you are giving, they are giving to you, you should make sure that you should go and you should do the overall implementation side. So that is called configuration management. Content management. Content management mainly we can go and we can use for the playbooks creation, automation, automated response using SOAR capability. That is called content management. Then what is threat management? Monitoring of all these logs, threat hunting, OBA. Then finally, using KQL queries, how to do the manual way of threat hunting, or maybe through hypothesis-based way threat hunting. So that is called as threat management. So these things will fall under the Azure Sentinel side. Okay. So that's all about overall services, whatever we do have under this one. If in case you are applying for any cybersecurity SOC operation vacancy, if they are expecting any question related to what do you know about cloud, which cloud you are comfortable, then you can say, I'm comfortable on the Azure side. I'm comfortable on the Amazon side. So in my organization, so we are using Amazon Web Services on Microsoft Azure also. Couple of services we configured. For example, we configured data connectors, we configured Azure Firewall, we configured Azure Key Vault, we enabled Azure DDoS protection, we enabled Azure Entra ID, and we enabled Azure Web Application Firewall. Those logs we are integrating to SIM tool. And whenever any attacks are happening into the respect to these cloud services also, we are monitoring 24/7 into 365 days based on the correlation rules whatever we configured for different types of the categories of the attacks. This is what you have to explain. I'm repeating it once again. Do you have the core knowledge or not? Do you have experience in the cloud or not? In case anyone are expecting any cloud related experience, even though you are applying for SIM related vacancy, you can say, yes, I do have the basic knowledge on the cloud. In my organizations also, couple of applications are deployed in the cloud environment. So for that one, we are using in my organization is Azure. For that one, we enabled couple of the services like Azure Entra ID mainly for identity and access management, Azure Web Application Firewall mainly for the blocking of all those WASP top 10 and SANS top 25 category of the attacks, Azure DDoS protection flooding category of the attacks, Azure Key Vault for mainly for storing of the keys, and all those services we enabled, and we integrated all these logs to SIM tool. So then finally, we created a couple of correlation rule for these services, whatever we integrated logs to SIM tool using data connectors. And finally, based on the correlation rule, whenever any external attacker or maybe internal employee is trying to do the hacking based on the cyber collision process, finally alerts will be triggered in the whatever SIM tool we are using, either is Azure Sentinel or maybe either on-premise IBM QRadar, Splunk, or Exabeam or RSA and so on. Once the alerts will be triggered in these tools, then as a cybersecurity analyst, I will go and I will take care of the respective incident investigation. So this is what I know about overall cloud. This is what I have to give the answer. Because
Okay.
you are not like a jack in all trades. You should not be expert in each and every domain. As a one person, how many fields you should be expert? One person, one cyber security SOC operation, how many fields you will be expert? One domain, if you are knowing, that is great, I mean, more than sufficient. But here, so nowadays, roles and responsibilities and even job vacancies and job opportunities are combination of everything. So combinations of basic cloud knowledge, Amazon, Azure, or GCP, they will give in the our respective job description. In the second one, they will say instant response. Third one, they will say SIM tool, and fourth one, they will say threat hunting. Fifth one, they will say UBA concept, and sixth one, they will say log onboarding, log analysis, correlation rule creation, and sixth one, they will say SOAR. And even nowadays, they're expecting one more thing is Python for automation side. As a one person, these many things how you will learn about as a single day, or maybe even 5 years of experience guy or 10 years of experience guy, they're working on only dedicated one domain. How much it's very difficult. It's very difficult to crack the interviews. That is the reason, even though practically so many people are working in the multinational companies, what the reason they are not able to crack the interviews? Because expectations are very high. That is the reason people are not able to crack the interviews. Because like you should be expert in the each and every security domain, then only you are able to crack the interview. Otherwise it's very difficult. So that's why you will feel like interviews are difficult and complicated and their expectations are very, it's not like that. So couple of times you should go and you should do the your self learning and development. That is the reason I defined this particular course content based on the expectations in the future, how they will ask. I predicted all these things long back. In 2018 itself, I predicted. If I will go and if I will say about only one domain dedicated to EDR, dedicated to DLP, dedicated to firewall, dedicated to SIM tool, nobody will crack the interview. I know that. So this forecasting and strategic planning I have done the long back in 2018 itself, when Corona, before Corona. So that is the reason this particular course content I designed in such a way. So at least you know about the basic of each and every domain. Then only you are able to crack the interviews. Okay. Hope it's clear.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Thank you so very much. See you tomorrow. And tomorrow I will explain about Amazon Web Services.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Bye.
Have a great day.